Alright, Yu-Gi-Oh players, brand new cards. Let's go ahead and check them all out and let's see what we can make with them. So, starting off, this is coming out in Rage of the Abyss, for at least this card. So, a lot of these are going to be kind of all over the place. I'm not sure if they're part of any specific archetype, but the Memento land, AKihira, is a brand new level 5 Water Aqua effect, 17 attack and 14 defense points. And it says that you can only use the first and second and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is, if this card is normal or special summon, you can activate this effect. Level 9 or higher Memento monsters can attack directly this turn. The second effect is, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can target one other Memento card in your graveyard or banishment and add to your hand. Isn't there one that's like similar to Maxi? That could just be good for that, but I mean, it's like a level 5, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. But the third effect is, if a Memento monster or monsters in your hand and or face up on the field is destroyed by battle or effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can just special summon this card. Oh, that's a really easy summon condition. That way you're constantly adding things back. Well, I guess you could just maybe use it as some sort of discard fodder, like even for waters, just to use it. And then once you have that, you know, other Memento, you just gonna bring this back and special summon it and have it die and go for another one. I think this was, honestly, it has a little bit of potential. It's just that the fact that it's a 5 just makes things a little bit more awkward. But nonetheless, that's the card. Or if it was like a Deep Sea Diva target or something, like, you know, obviously not a Diva target, but then we could have like easier ways to just bring it out instead of just like using it as discard, because you don't get like if it's discarded by a water effect, right, you don't get anything off of that. Next up, though, we have some new Fiendsmith stuff. That was cool because, Fiendsmith plus the Musketeers was actually a deck that I was looking into for my next deck made deck. Anyways, Blood Tears, or actually it's called Lacrima the Scarlet Sorrow, which I believe is the card on the left. So, level 4 Light Fiend effect, 12/12. It's always treated as a Fiendsmith card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is, if this card is normal or special, you get to send a Fiendsmith card from your deck to the graveyard, except for itself. Pretty good, considering it's also level 4. Second part is, during your opponent's turn, if this card's in your graveyard, as a quick effect, you get to target one Fiendsmith Link monster in your graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, special summon that monster. Okay, that's not bad at all. Definitely a viable card. Next up, we have the Fiendsmith AznEyes D, which is the other card, which is the Link monster. It looks like it's got 1800 attack, Link 3, and it's got 1 in Link zones, unfortunately, in kind of a bad spot, which is in the up arrow, but bottom left, bottom right, still pretty good. But let's check out what it does. So, its materials are 2+ monsters, including a Light Fiend, with the effect reading once per turn. As a quick effect, you can target one non-Link Fiend monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, equip this card you control to it as an equip spell with these effects. The equipped monster gains attack equal to the total Link ratings of the Link monster equipped to it times 600. And then if the equipped monster attacks a defense position monster, you're going to do piercing battle damage. Okay. Next up, though, we've got some more news. This was actually in like I guess some sort of like stream, so it looks like this is more from Rage of the Abyss. I guess there's a contest on Twitter, but I don't know if it's OCG only, but looks like a pretty cool card. What is this? It says Secret Rare Dark Magician. Oh, it's for this picture. I was gonna say, this does not look like a Dark Magician card, although that'd be kind of cool. It's called the Ultimate Dragon of Pride and Soul. So there's also, here's the effect of this super card over here. So 4,500 attack, 45 defense points. It's a level 12 Dark Dragon Fusion effect. And its materials are 3 monsters with 2,500 original attack and defense, and it says your opponent can't target this fusion summon card with card effects. Also, it can't be destroyed by the card effects. This fusion summon card gains 4,500 attack and defense while you have 25 or more cards in your graveyard. Dang, so that means it's actually 9,000. Crazy. And then third part of the effect is, once per turn, if your opponent has 25 or more cards in the graveyard, you can destroy all cards they control. If only this was a quick effect, you'd have a little bit more play. But, I mean, it's not too hard to bring it out. In fact, this is like, as far as I'm aware, this is probably one of the best, like, super poly targets. Like, just being able to go for this. And let's say your opponent pops off turn 1. I think this is a godly card. Like, 9,000 attack potential. Let's say your opponent pops off turn 1. They go for this. You just go, okay, super poly, boom, 9,000 GG's. Like, that is actually pretty dang good. I like this card. I definitely will be throwing this on a lot of decks that, you know, obviously run super poly. Great card. Next up, though, we have some World Championship 2024. What? Doom Caliber as a special, like Doom Caliber in 2024 24. That is crazy because this card it's just not good anymore. This was an SJC several $100 card. I remember when this card was like hyped up in the turbo packs. It's such a cool card though. It's got insanely good stats. Really good against Glad Beast, but I haven't really seen Glad Beast modern times. And then I guess there's what is this, Breaker? Okay, I don't know why they're showing off Breaker here. Is it like different artwork or something? What's the difference between these? I genuinely can't tell. I'm guessing it's some sort of like artwork change or something. But what's the change with that one? Classic and modern. Yeah, maybe it's the wording? Oh, yeah, I think the wording is different, but I don't know if the artwork is different also. But a bunch of, I guess these are a bunch of, reprints of some old school stuff. Looks like, yeah, these are all old school. They're trying to, like, make people play, like, old Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. It's because it's quite still popular. Anyways, we got a bunch of, these, I believe, are a bunch of world premiere cards for our info. So let's go check them out. So we have the Magic Collateral Soul. So here's the picture of this card. Looks like it's got 400 attack, 300 defense, Aqua Tuner effect. And it says that if a monster is special summoned by your trap effect, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but if you special summon it from the graveyard, banish it when it leaves the field. During your opponent's battle phase, as a quick effect, you can activate one of these effects. Immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. Other part is, immediately after it resolves, exceed summon using this card you control. You can only use each effect of it once per turn. And then next up we have some, what is this, dragon card? So this is Volma, Statue of the Sacred Dragon, level 2 Light Dragon Pendulum, 200 attack, 18 defense. It's a pendulum scale of 1. It says if a monster is special summoned by your trap effect, except during the damage step, you can target one card on the field and return to the hand. Actually, a really good effect. Then you can special summon this card. You can only use the effect of Volma, Statue of the Sacred Dragon once per turn. So that's the pendulum effect, and that's a pretty solid. Just being able to, actually get a compulse and a monster out potentially. And then Dragon Pendulum effect is for the monster effect. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can place this monster in your pendulum zone. If you do, return the opponent's monster to the hand. You can only use the effect of Volma, Statue of the Sacred Dragon once per turn, and if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place it in your pendulum zone. So either way, it's going to the pendulum zone, you're bouncing things back. Actually, pretty good. It's going to force your opponent to use some more resources, considering, I mean, at the end of the day, you're always going to go probably at least +1 with the card, because, well, you just activate your, trap monsters. Actually, a really cool card. Next up, though, is just more trap monster support. So we got YuGiOh, which is, it says, special summon this as an effect monster, Fairy Earth, level 2 trap, level 2 attack 0/0. With the following effect, this is also still a trap. Once per chain, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field that targets a card or cards you control as a quick effect, you can set this card in your spell and trap zone. If you negate that opponent's effect, then if that monster has the highest attack on your opponent's field, return to the hand. You can only activate one YuGiOh per turn. So pretty good. I mean, you have so much bounce, like double bouncing, and remember, you're going to be able to keep on setting like scrap iron. All right, next up, though, we have some new Fiend support. So this is Dipsy, not Deep Sea, but Dipsy Fiend. I like the name, for level 4 Water Fiend effect. You can discard a card, then declare one attribute except for water. Special summon this card from your hand to either field. When this card becomes that attribute until the end of the turn. Oh, wait, this card becomes the attribute. It's actually harder to read. I was going to read off the thing. Anyways, then if you special summon this card to your opponent's field, you special summon one level 4 or lower Fiend monster with an original attribute other than the declared one from your hand or graveyard to your field. Also, for the rest of the turn, you can't special summon monsters from the extract except for Fiend monsters. You can only use the effective Dipsy Fiend once per turn. I mean, being able to go for any Fiend, I mean, that's actually still pretty big. I think this is not just for waters, but what else would you... Yeah, this could be very interesting. What are the water Fiends? That's the real question. Yeah, is there any good water Fiends? That's like what I'm wondering, because I can't think of anything on top of my head. I gotta check this out, because it may be actually pretty OP. So we're going to water. We obviously want it to be an effect. We want it to be a water and Fiend. And it looks like, okay, so, oh, they already added the new card? Dang, that was really fast. It looks like we have Unchained, Jowls. Okay, we got those Cloudians, man. All right, I don't know off the top of my head if there's anything super OP with this. I mean, looks like there's some Plunder Patrol stuff. But, yeah. Next up, though, we have Necroquip Princess, which is going to be a level 6 Dark Fiend Fusion effect. 2,000 attack, 2,000 defense. Its materials are one monster equipped with a monster card, plus one Fiend monster card. So I guess it maybe works with Union stuff. Must be special summon from the extract by setting the above cards from your hand and or if you go to the graveyard. You can only control one Necroquip Princess. If a monster is sent from the hand or to the graveyard to activate a card effect, you can activate one of these effects. You equip one of those monsters to this card as an equip spell that gives it 500 attack, or you can draw one card. Is it not once per turn either? Let's see. If monsters come from the hand or graveyard. Yeah, I mean, it's not a once per turn. Oh, never mind. The very final line is a once per turn. Usually they put it at the top, but okay. Unlucky. What else did I do? This card is actually pretty OP. Aerial Ether, though, at level 6 win Fiend fusion effect, and requires 2 Fiend monsters with the same attribute. 21 attack, 26 defense, and says if this card is fusion summon, you get to send 1 Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you get to banish 2 level 6 or higher Fiend monsters with the same attribute as each other from your graveyard, except for Aerial Ether to special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Aerial Ether once per turn. Okay. All right, guys. We got actually so much cards. I'm gonna try not to make a video half an hour long. So this is gonna be the end of, like, you know, part 1 of, like, these a bunch of new cards and world premieres. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like on. If you want to see the rest of them, subscribe, turn the bell. I'll be dropping it literally, like, really soon. Anyways, take care. I'll catch you next one. Peace.